So good day and God bless everyone. I am Shalami Vigalarta, your reporter for today. So my topic is all about the economic institution. So the term economic institution refers to two things. The first one is specific agencies or foundations, both government and private, devoted to collecting or studying economic data or commissioned with the job of supplying a goods services that is important to the economy of a country. The second one is well-established arrangement and structures that are part of the culture or society, competitive markets, and the banking system. So they were founded upon certain common principles, related materials and resources and rights. So, in the land on which the early societies depended largely for survival and well-being was viewed as a sacred endowment of nature should be the possession of the datoships or society. In accordance with the concept of mutual sharing of resources, it is no individual, regardless of the status, was without sustenance. Consequently, ownership of that land was non-existent or it is unimportant. So, Maranao observed in societies in other cultural communities. In addition to land, marine resources, and fishing ground, were there free to all in the communities whose economy was based on this kind of resources. So, the coastal communities, including those in the southern archipelago, for the kind of fishing, sharing concepts similar to those in that land community. So, the Angambet of the Sama, who has the right to the fish catch, and the other were determined by communal systems called Komkoman Mundaan. So who are the recognized leaders like the Datus, the Rahas, the Tinuais, or the Nakuras, who have a position and enjoyed some economic privilege and benefits by virtue of their position. So for the rights that are related to the land and sea, where it is their responsibility to protect the community in danger and to provide them with their leadership and means for the survival. So, forming an equally important part of the economy was the internal and external trade. Inter-barangganic exchanges based on barters. So sa una na ay barter, but now I don't think og naa pa na siya, because barter was an effective way of complementary system which involved good relationship between lowland and upland societies or between land and sea dwellers. In the case of the Ilocano and Igorot in Luzon, the Tagalog and Mangyan in the Mindoro, the Visayan and Manubo in mainland Mindanao. So the Saraya and Silod, inhabitants in Maguindanao, the Subanon and Lotao in Zamboanga, and the Tausug and Sama in the Sulu archipelago was one of the ancient foundation of peace and security. So the varieties of trade items coming from China, India, and Southeast Asia was added a new dimension and horizon to the economy rather. So dynamic resulted from the mutual demands for a new product, which is in the Chinese was porcelains, silk, and coins. In the India was a piece of gold, woods, and Malay is a metal works and items for the local needs and wants. So the last part of my discussion is the socio-cultural processes. So the socio-cultural institution that emerged varied from community to community, nevertheless tainted by trade, conduct, and influences, which is a sense established and ancient, although laws line of coordination, and the economic identity. So cultural traditions and foundations were crucial to survival identity. So the communities consciously strengthen and preserve their ancient traditions against establishing cultural values and concepts from external contact. The case of the community in the South that adopted Islam as a part of socio-cultural development. So, social structures of pre-Islamic Philippines was presented by the datueships of Baranganik, which social classes form a natural hierarchy of status. So, the leaders consisted of men of wealth and prestige, and below were a class of freemen who formed largest sector in the society and also provided society with the warriors, the artisans, and artists, and other special services. So freemen, also known as Maharlika among the Tagalog and Timawa in Visayas, they enjoyed the rights and privilege of social mobility. So the last level include the two classes, which is the serfs, which called alipin namamahay, who got perform or force the labor for offenses against society. So the second one is the slaves, who were called alipin agigilar. They have alipin agigilar. They have no right and privilege and considered as properties that should sold or exchanged. So those captives taken in a war or those born in a slave families. So gikan sila sa kanang ginakuha sila gikan atong war nga gipanganak nga gipanganak nga alipin. So isning kamenglan, the efogao or kadangyan na wutwut, the tagabanwa are mangin nu utimawa oripan, the mandaya kalyunan, and the tinray is stipon mangsisilit mingira fokering system of status delineation. So it was among the Islamic groups where the Islamic indigenous blend in the social structures and the culture was quite developed. So social stratification in Maranao, Maguindanao, and Tausug societies were governed by the Maratabat and the Adat Tabiat concepts. So that's all for my report for today. Thank you and God bless us all, everyone.